Hey everybody, it's Michael Tiny Saul. It's Sunday, May 22nd at 8 p.m. and this is viewer stock trading requests for the week of May 23rd, 2011. Let me quickly explain what this video is. Every Sunday I do a viewer request video for the coming week. What that is you, the viewers, send me in stocks to look at, and as long as they have some volume and they're not really thin or really low-priced penny stocks, I like to put them up on the charts and give my analysis. Unlike the watch list where I actually put entries and stops and management, on these I just do general technical analysis. I give an opinion, if there is one, on whether it looks higher or lower, and I map out support and resistance points. These stocks are not managed during the week. And something new I'm doing starting this week, because I got almost 50 requests this week, is I'm also filtering out most of the stocks that I don't really have an opinion on, that just look like no pattern setup. So if you sent me a stock and you don't see it here, please don't take offense. It's not personal, okay? But I had to do another filter on the stocks besides just the low priced and the penny stocks, because otherwise the video would be like 4 hours long and you'd be sitting here going, well, when is he going to get to my stock? So if there's nothing set up, I just completely took it out of the list, okay? And some of these stocks will also not really have setups, but a lot of them are carryovers from last week, because the people who requested them last week, now they want to know the updates on them, right? So let's start with Amazon. And Amazon had a little bit of a volatile week, to say the least. It gapped down sharply on Monday, traded lower, and then got the bounce up into the end of the week. Now, the last 2 days, Thursday and Friday, you saw these two narrow range candles right in the top part of this tall red candle, which is major resistance here based on the candlestick theory, right? The bottom 50% is the strongest, but the top 50% is also a very stiff resistance. So I drew these lines in. I don't know if they're the best lines to show a triangle, but you could definitely see that price is coiling somewhat. So, in my opinion, Amazon is just wait and see if it breaks one way or the other. You got resistance at 202.36, and then you got support right here at the bottom, which coincidentally stopped right at previous resistance. And I know charts, whatever. I'm not even going to get in with the sarcastic remarks that charts don't work and all that stuff, because it just annoys me. But you could see that it came right to previous resistance and held tight and got the bounce. But a strong move that were to break that, I'd be watching this 50-day moving average down here at in the 184s. Okay, so that's Amazon. Let's look at Baidu. Okay, Baidu had this inverted hammer on Monday, and then it had this nice day volume-wise on Tuesday, and then just kind of drifted up the rest of the week. So I want to see if this is resistance. If it is, look for a retest down. If it breaks up through these moving averages, you have next resistance up here at 143.69. Bank of America identified this one a couple weeks ago, and a nice bear flag. Looking at 1092 as potential support, and then we can run a fib grid here, but it's probably through all the fibs. Yeah, I mean, you could do a 261.8. Hold on one second. Okay, so that comes in before the 1092 I was talking about. That comes in at 1123. So that would be first support, 1123. That's Bank of America. If it gets a bounce, these moving averages are coming down in a pretty sharp angle, so I'd watch them as potential resistance. Caterpillar, it wouldn't be the viewer request without Caterpillar. We get the same lovely person asking for Caterpillar every week, and I'm glad to look it over. I'm very glad to do it. So I don't mean it in a mocking fashion. I just love the fact that usually Caterpillar is the first stock that is requested every week. So let's take a look at it now. It is in a small mini coil here, a little 3-bar coil. Okay, so this is in wait and see mode also. You have the moving averages up here, and you have this low down here at 101.47, followed by this low down here at 96.92. But this is a real nice looking mini coil, so we should see resolution from this one way or the other. CMG, and I'm actually for once doing these in alphabetical order. Somebody wrote me and said, "Hey Tiny, can you just do them at least in alphabetical order? You're a little all over the place." I mean, I usually get the whole list done, but I'm glad to oblige. It's easy for me to just click a button on my telechart and it will sort it by alphabetical order. I'm sorry, I just find that a little amusing. All right, so the 78.6% retracement held the first time, and it came up and held into last week too. So if we break last week's highs, looking for a retest of the highs up here. If we continue to mull around here, then we want to start bracketing the action and see if we get a break one way or the other. But we are above all the moving averages here, so that's usually bullish. All right, Citigroup. All right, looks to me like it's in a sideways bear flag. This almost made the watch list, but the reason it didn't is because it's stretched from the moving averages. So yeah, is this bearish? Sure, but I like to have a resistance level to lean against usually, and these are a little far up. But yeah, it does look bearish for now. If it were to bounce higher, I'd be watching these moving averages for potential resistance. Electronic Arts, strong. If it breaks, 25 would be next resistance, but I mean, this is really stretched in my opinion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 sessions in a row, not even touching the 10-day moving average. Looks like a little reversion back is due, and that would be support, the 10-day here, and then the 20-day if it went deeper. But it's definitely strong. All right, Goldman, on the other hand, wow, just ugly. So let's try to see where we can find next support on this. 129.41. It's 129.50 actually. 129.50. See, I don't get these exact. That's the problem. I can do it. Hold on one sec. Okay, there you go. 129.50. That, in my opinion, is the minimum target here for Goldman. It's below the 78.6% retracement of this pretty nice size swing up. All right, especially in time. This was wow, this was almost, what is this, 10 months? So this is a pretty, no, not 10 months, I'm sorry. This is 7 months. What's now would be 10 months. I apologize. So, yeah, it's 6 to 7 month swing up, and it broke the 78.6% retracement. I'm looking at 129.50 for support on this one, and I think it gets tested. So I'll be watching this for a bounce to potentially form a flag or a continuation pattern. Once again, this is stretched from the short-term moving averages, so we might get a little bounce up into that, but this stock doesn't look so hot. Goldman Sachs, GS. Google, okay, Google, bear flag, hit the target, had the nice candle on Tuesday, the bullish engulfing pattern. So you have support, was hit on Friday, 50% of this candle. If we trade below Friday's lows, I'd be watching for a full retracement down here. But if we can get a bounce, we have to watch last week's highs at 536.54. If we get above that, next resistance would be 544.43. LinkedIn. Okay, LinkedIn. Only a couple of days worth of action, but I did a video on this. You can look it up on the YouTube channel. And I did a video after the first day of trading. So the levels remain the same. You can see it gapped up the next day, and then it just went sideways and rolled over. Still watching this 89.14 support level. That, in my opinion, is a key level, because if we hold that, we could get a nice bounce. But if we break it, then it looks like we're going to be going back down to the lows. Okay, so that is LinkedIn. Okay. Netflix. Okay, Netflix still looks okay. I mean, this is definitely bullish action. It's above the moving averages. Volume is a little light, But if it does get the upside going here, I'd be watching for these highs to be taken out. And above 255, 275 would be a nice level to watch. Ren, okay, I mean, it looks like it wants to retest the lows. It may not. It may hold a retest here. But this still looks horrible. And still no word from the super hype artists on it either. They make a big deal about it the day it comes out, and then you don't hear nothing from them again. RIM, this is an interesting one. Okay, RIM basically got its target here, but fell just a little short. All right, but I mean, it went to 52.61. It came 8 cents shy of its target. Now it looks like it's headed back down, but look at the volume. The volume is definitely pulling in here. So I'd be watching RIM on a retest of this level or a break of this level that remounts, maybe forms a hammer or a doji. Okay, this could be a long side opportunity on this one. All right, this may make the watch list later on in the week. But that's what I'm watching for, a retest of these lows, and then I want to see what happens. Do we break them and keep going, or do we break them and reverse? May set up an opportunity. By the way, support under 42.53 would be 34.93. So it's nice. I mean, 7.5 points or whatever it is. It's a pretty nice size move. Okay, so that's RIM. Look at Ross Stores. Okay, so here's Ross Stores. Ross T is the symbol. The reason that this one is on the list, somebody asked about this because we had this on the watch list and wound up taking just about a unit out of this one. To me, it looks like a bull flag. I mean, I was pretty happy when we stopped out for a gain on the second half. Okay, we didn't take a loss on it, so I wouldn't be happy with a loss no matter what. But we stopped out for a gain on the second half. But right now, this actually looks like a bull flag here. Holding really nice here. Don't like this volume, but you can see all it did was form a doji on that day. It really wasn't a bad, ugly day, ugly down day. But this looks like it has the chance to push higher here, and if it gets above 83, I would watch 87. So that's Ross Stores, ROST. And then finally, going out of alphabetical order, we have GLD, which is the Spider Gold Trust. It's the gold ETF. And you can see here it had a nice coil, gap down here outside of it, but then went sideways and now popping up. So I'd be watching this 148.19. If it can get above that, the top of this pattern at 150.34 would be the next target. And then SLV, definitely showing a poor relative strength to gold here. And this one is consolidating for another move. Now, if it breaks higher like gold does, you got to watch these moving averages for potential resistance. And if it breaks down to the downside, still watching that 200-day moving average. That's it. That's viewer stock trading requests for the week of May 23rd, 2011. Any questions or comments, or you would like to submit a stock for me to look at, please email me. My contact info is at the beginning of this video. Have a great trading day on Monday and a great trading week.